Hi everybody, we're going to do a quick video on looking at Mackin, finding our invoice number, tracking information, our records, putting the records into Destiny, and then of course doing receiving, which will be the last step. So you would have received your books and you've got all your boxes of books, which is awesome. You want to unbox and make sure nothing is damaged because there is a point in receiving where if you do have damaged books, you would mark those books with whatever problem is happening with those particular books. So I'm starting off, I'm logged in as Mac, and I'm logged in as me, but you, of course, would not have all the options I have. So when you're in your account, you're going to go to My Mackin. So third one across the top. And then you're going to go to My Orders. And then you're going to go to Order History. Okay, now I can see all of the schools, and so I'm going to quickly pretend that I am Kim at Broadmoor Middle, and I'm going to pull up her page so that we can kind of see what's going on with her. All right, so you can see that she received an order already. It is still open, which means she's going to receive another shipment. If this says closed, then you've gotten everything you're supposed to get. And you can even kind of see from what she was sent and then what she has that she does have not a lot. The bulk of your books will come in that first shipment, but she still has another one. If you have not received your shipment, you have no idea where it is, you're interested to see who signed for it, you can go to the tracking information here that will bring you to the UPS site, and then you can see if someone did sign for it or what happened with those boxes. The important pieces of information here, though, is that, and you can also go to order status and get more information there, but I'm not real worried about that for this video. I'm more concerned with knowing my invoice number and then also my MARC records. You should have received an email. If you submitted your order correctly, you would have put your email address in. Mackin would have sent you your records in an email, but even if you didn't get it, you can still get your records here. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on Download MARC Records. And you can see on the screen, it looks a little confusing, but on the bottom section here, it's going to open up the file or put the file. This is a zipped file. You cannot upload a zip file into Destiny. Okay, you have to get the file out, the MARC record file that you need that's in the folder. So I'm going to double click on my zip file. There it is. Let me bring it down a little bit so you can see it. And so these are the things that are in the file. And the first thing's pretty important. That's the barcode printout. You can print that out and it's going to give you all the barcodes. This is going to be important if you're doing receiving on your ebooks. Now, when you print it out, you do have to do a fit to page because when you first look at it, you're going to see that the barcodes are all the way kind of off on the side, and for it to print nicely and for you to use your scanner, you probably will have to do fit to page or fit or something to that sort when you do print. But you can easily get your ebooks barcodes from here. Now you know where to get your print barcodes. Those are going to be on your books, okay? But we're not worried about using that particular file for our records. We want to click on the MARC 21 file, which again you can see that it's a folder, so I want to double click and open it. And this is the file that I need. It's going to be MARC 21 dot, and it's going to be whatever your invoice number is. And if we went back and looked at Kim's account, we would see here's our invoice number, and of course that's the number there. The easiest way to get this thing into Destiny is to get it out of this folder. And so I'm going to right click on top of it, and I'm going to copy it. And when you go to copy, it's not going to be as easy as let me copy paste, of course, but you can select the drop down and pick your desktop. And what it's going to do is it's going to save that on your desktop, this particular file, and that's the file that you have to put into Destiny. Now, I've already done this, so it's already there, but I would click OK and I would copy it, but it is already there for me, so we're going to move on to that next step. Okay, so Kim now has all of her books. The first thing she wants to do is make sure she gets the records into Destiny. So I'm going to go to Destiny really quickly and show you how to do that. We're going to come back to Mackin so that I can share with you how to do receiving. But right now we're going to move to Destiny. Okay, now I've already logged in Kim's account, and I already went to catalog, and I'm already at import titles. Okay, so you would be at your Destiny, which we're in Kim's. Okay, and then we would go to catalog, and then we would go to import titles. Now, this is the most important thing, especially if you ordered ebooks. Everything stays the same except one thing. Okay, we want to make sure we go to assign copy information, and you want to click on update, because right now everything that you import is going to go in as regular, and that's great if you just have print books. But if you know you have ebooks, you have to set it by call number so that it will change your ebooks to be like non-circulating ebooks. You don't want them to be regular. Okay, so I'm going to click on update, and I'm going to go on based on call number instead of regular. And so you will see if I did click on update, you're going to see if it's D, it's going to go in as non-circulating ebook. So that's already set, and it should be set for you. So we would just do based on call number and say okay. So that way this changed to based on call number. I'm going to go to choose file. And then I know on my desktop, it's a mark, it's going to start with M, and do not judge all the things on my desktop because I just got it back, so I'm very happy. Let's see where it is. Whoops, there it goes. We had a bunch of things. We want to find Kim's. Okay, so this is Kim's right here because you can see that was her call, that was her invoice number 519358. So I'm going to open that. So all I've done is I changed it to call number, and I've uploaded the file, and I'm going to just do a preview. Okay, and sometimes it's important to do a preview to make sure you didn't mess up. And I can do refresh, and I could keep sitting here clicking on refresh. So of course we know it's uploaded all of them. But sometimes if you do a preview, then that means that, like, if I had forgotten to mark the ebooks, and if I did a preview, I would have caught that and said, oh my goodness, all of these ebooks are going to come in as regular. Let me not do that and run this again and then do that correctly. Okay, so let's see where we are here. So we're completed. So I can go to view. Now this is in Job Manager. So you can see your import in Job Manager. This is just a preview. I have 147 records, what's been added, how many copies, yada, yada, yada. If I want to proceed, then I would need to click on import at this point, and that would bring all of those in. But I'm going to make Kim do this, so I'm going to leave this for her, but I would click on import. But you can see here, this must have been an ebook, because you could see it made it a non-circulating ebook. Okay, all of those must have been ebooks in her order. So see, that would make sense. If she had set that as regular, like this must be a print book because it's regular, she would have had to go in and change or do an update to make everything with the call number D to make it a non-circulating ebook. And that's kind of a pain when you could have done it correctly this way. So that's how you're going to import your records. Okay, so let's go back to Mackin. And I'm going to go ahead and copy her invoice number. Now to get to your receiving screen, it's a little different. You can't just go click on home. You always have to go click on OMS. If you don't see the features you need here under options, always select OMS, and then you're going to get more options. And again, I might have more options than you. So you're going to go OMS, options, and then I'm going to go to receiving. Now, two types of receiving. Okay, I would like for you to not do the batch, because when you do a batch, you really don't know if you got all the books that you really have. So I'm going to click in the invoice number here. Okay. And I hit enter on my keyboard. And when I hit enter on my keyboard, you can see there's 149 books that Kim needs to receive. And if I click on that, it gives me all of the books, the barcode, all the information there. So what Kim would do is it's saying to choose the number type by barcode. Kim would click in this box, she would use her scanner, and she would scan each one of those books. So the first book she would scan, 53062, then it would take that book and put it to receive. Now you could also type them in, but I'm just going to do one to show you, but we're going to leave the rest for Kim to do. Okay, so now what it did is it did received on the one book, and it showed I received that. She now has 148 left to do. Okay, what's important though is that if you do have print books, that you do scan those books, because sometimes you may not have a book, and we've experienced that, and then you would want to contact Mackin and say, I'm missing this particular book. Now, for your ebooks, you could easily use that barcode printout. You could scan those barcodes on that barcode printout, and that would mark them to received. The one thing I find when I'm scanning the books is you do want to make sure that you don't go really, really fast, because that's when you start missing books. So scan it, you'll see it pop up, scan, pop up, scan, pop up. You don't want to go really, really fast for this. Now, if you're a non-public person and you're watching this and you had to go through all the drama of seeing our destiny and everything, if your barcode symbology is not the same as EBR, you will only be able to do a batch receive. Okay, but EBR people, you should be able to do barcode because we're set up for that. Keep in mind that if you receive a book and there's something wrong with it, you can click here, like maybe this book was not in a good condition. Let me bring that down so you can see it a little bit. Or maybe it won't let me bring it down. I can't grab it. But you can see it. I could change it to damaged, duplicate. I can put a note in there. It's missing, whatever. When you do put that note in and save it, it should send that note to Mackin and they will know. Now, the very important, this is a little bit different. We used to not do this before. But when everything is completed, you've done everything you need to do in this screen, whether, received, not received, tagged, flagged, whatever, you want to click on done. And the reason for that is, and I'm going to mouse over that little I so you can see the reason that, and I don't remember everything it said, but it says that you want to click done to complete the receiving process. When you click done, it's going to update your title match collection to reflect your newly received items, which means if you want to look at your Mackin collection development, I don't need to export all that new stuff and put it in for you into Mackin. It already knows that you own those books, and it's going to put that into your collection development report when you do want to run that, which is pretty cool. So you do want to make sure you do that. And then it also says, if there are any condition issues to report, please update the condition below by clicking on good, which we just talked about, completing the template to report the problem before clicking done. Mackin will be notified by any condition issues you have noted once you click done. So it's kind of important that you click done, because that's going to finalize the whole process of receiving. And that's it. All you need to do, make sure you get your records into Destiny, and then of course make sure you complete receiving. When you complete receiving, Charlene receives notification that you've done that, and that's how we know how to pay your bill. So until we get this, like if we'd ever see you do receiving, we have no idea if you have received these books. So it's important that you go through that step and you do complete that. Again, if you have any questions, you can contact Library Services. It's easier to call Charlene, 226-7611, or you can email either Charlene or myself, and we can be able to easily troubleshoot and kind of help you out. So hopefully that video will get you through the Mackin receiving and record uploading process. Thank you.